It was a beautiful day on the Island of Sodor on the Northwestern Railway. Edward was just pulling into Knapford Station where some of the other engines were chatting when all of a sudden Emily snuck up behind Edward and shunted him. "Emily," asked Edward, "why did you do that?" "Happy St. Patrick's Day." "Is it St. Patrick's Day again?" asked James. "But Emily, why did you shunt him?" asked Thomas, who was waiting at a signal. "Edward wasn't wearing green, and any engine that's not wearing green gets shunted." "Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that old tradition. It was kind of fun." "It may have been fun for you, Henry. You too, Emily. But not for the rest of us who weren't wearing green." "I'm sure Emily didn't mean it," said Edward, "as long as it's in good fun." "Well, I'm too splendid to do this." And with that, Emily got out of the way so James could get on with his work. And with that, all the other engines set off to do their jobs. "And don't worry, Emily," said Henry as he passed her by. "I'll make sure to tell the other green engines to go easy on them this year." And with that, Henry set off. And so did Thomas. Meanwhile, near Brendam Docks, Diesel 10 was chatting with some of the green diesels. "Well, well, well, it's St. Patrick's Day again, and we all know what that means." I'm still new here to Sodor, so what does that mean?" "Well, Dodge, I'm glad you asked. We must go out and find any engine that isn't wearing green." "And then what do we do?" Why, we pinch them, of course." All of the green diesels thought that was a very good idea. "Wait a minute. Where's Daisy and Derek?" "Well, we tried to convince Daisy to join our game, but she said it was bad for her swerves, and Derek had to do a very important job for the Topham Hat, so he's not going to be back for a while." "Oh, okay. I guess it's just us." 1, 2, 6 diesels, I guess. "Come on, let's go have some fun on St. Patrick's Day." And with that, all of the green diesels went their separate ways on St. Patrick's Day. Meanwhile, Stanley was chuffing down the branch line looking for his friends, when all of a sudden Diesel 10 appeared out of nowhere and knocked Stanley clear off the track. "Ah! Diesel 10, why did you do that?" "Why, it's St. Patrick's Day, Stanley, and you're not wearing green, so you got pinched." "I don't understand," said Stanley. "Of course you don't. You're not wearing green." And off Diesel 10 went to find more engines who weren't wearing green. Meanwhile, Toby was taking Henrietta and Hannah. He passed Splatter, who was sleeping in a siding. But then suddenly, "Paxton, why did you do that?" "It's St. Patrick's Day, Toby, and you're not wearing green." "Have a happy St. Patrick's Day." And with that, Paxton went off to find more engines who weren't wearing green. "Oh dear," said Toby. Molly was about to pull into Knapford Station when she saw Bert on her line ahead. "Excuse me, Bert, can you please move?" "No." "Why not?" Then Molly got her answer. "Harry, why did you do that?" "You weren't wearing green, Molly, so you got pinched." And off Harry and Bert went to find more engines who weren't wearing green. Meanwhile, for Splatter, he was still taking a rest in the siding when Dodge snuck up on him and... Ow! Dodge, why'd you do that? Well, you're not wearing green, Splatter brother. And you got pinched. Happy St. Patrick's Day! And off Dodge went to find more engines who weren't wearing green. Excuse me for a minute. Ah, ah. Hey, ow. Sorry. No worries, I'm alright. Meanwhile, Murdoch was trying to find his next train when suddenly... Ow, what was that about? Consider yourself pinched, Murdoch. Just then, James pulled up. Oh my, Murdoch, what happened here? I'm shocked. Why, hello, James. I see you're looking as splendid as usual. But you're not wearing green. So, time to get pinched. I knew this game was going to be nothing but trouble. And off James went with Diesel 10 giving chase. Diesel 10 chased James all the way back to Knapford. James switched onto the siding that led back to Tidmouth Sheds. And Diesel 10 followed. Diesel 10 was catching up to James. James went over the small bridge that was near Tidmouth Sheds. Thomas, let me on. But James, I gotta get on the turntable. Then Diesel 10 pushed the lever that the workmen usually use to turn the turntable, and then Thomas and James both went flying. Consider yourselves pinched, you two. And off Diesel 10 went to cause more trouble. And to find more engines who weren't wearing green. Well, said James, can't this St. Patrick's Day get any worse? Just then Stafford backed into a siding. Stafford, you gotta get out of here or you're gonna get pinched. What do you mean? Just then Philip came up to Stafford and knocked him right off the track. Stafford went rolling and into a bush. Ah, Philip, why'd you do that? You're not wearing green, Stafford. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And off Philip went to cause more fun. All right, that tears it, said Thomas. Those green diesels have pinched everyone, and they just pinched one of our electric engines. Can no one stop this madness? Maybe I can help, said a voice. And pulling up to Thomas and James was Derek. Derek, what are you doing here? I just finished my special job Sir Topham Hatt had me do. What happened to you two? Diesel 10 pinched us because we weren't wearing green. And some of the other green diesels have been doing it to other engines. Oh my. How can I help? Well, do you think you can stop Diesel 10? Oh, yes, of course. I can get back at him by letting him know how bad it is to be pinched on St. Patrick's Day. Don't worry, I'll get some other engines to help you guys. Just wait there, and I'll take care of Diesel 10. That's all we can do, said Thomas and James. Meanwhile, at the scrapyard, Diesel 10 and the other green diesels were celebrating. Well, my friends, we've gotten a few engines pinched, only many more to go that aren't wearing green. And all of the green diesels laughed. Just then, Derek came up. Oh, hello, Derek, said Diesel 10. I see you finally finished that job Sir Topham Hatt wanted you to do. Have you come to join us? First off, where's Daisy? She didn't want to join. She said it was bad for her swerves. Oh, okay. And second, Derek then charged forward and knocked Arian Bird off the track. Ooh, why'd you do that? Derek, what are you doing? Ah! Hey, you're green like us. Oh, I know, but I've heard that you've been not so nice to my steamy friends who weren't wearing green. I'm just getting a little payback. And you're next. Yikes, I'm out of here. And with that, Diesel 10 rolled away with Derek giving chase. Sorry, you three. We're good. But what Diesel 10 didn't know was that he had forgotten that Toby was in his way because of Paxton, and he then crashed right into the back. Watch out! Hannah closed her eyes just as Diesel 10 crashed right into them. Luckily, Hannah and Henrietta stayed on the track, but Diesel 10 had derailed and then tipped over. Oh, the embarrassment. Well, Diesel 10, I hope you've learned your lesson. Yes, next year I'll go lightly instead of this roughness. That's good. Now, if you excuse me, I've got a mess to help clean up. And with that, Derek set to work cleaning up the mess. Next year, I'm just gonna not pinch anymore. I'm just gonna lightly shunt the engines. That's a good idea, said Hannah. That is a good idea. 5 hours later at Knapford Station, everything had been cleaned up, and Thomas and James had returned from repairs, since they had minor damage while the others were still being repaired. Wow, said Thomas. That was quite the St. Patrick's Day adventure. I'm sure there's a valuable lesson learned in all of this. That bullies always get what's coming to them? Well, yes, but, said Edward, no matter what type of paint we have outside, it's what's on the inside that matters. And all the engines agreed. Edward, however, was wondering. I have one question. What is it, Edward? Asked James. Is it okay to lightly pinch someone or engines? Oh my, Edward, are you all right? Well, Edward, you weren't wearing any green, so happy St. Patrick's Day. And sorry about that. Oh, it's okay, Derek. It's all in the name of good fun. Although we have one more thing. What's that, Thomas? Well, it's a face reveal of the creator of this video and previous other videos. Thank you very much, everyone, for viewing this video, which happens to be my 400th video on my YouTube channel, so yay me! Also, thank you very much, everyone, for all the subscribing, and the rest of the episodes for Season 25 are coming soon, as well as the movie, Clinchfield 311 and the Faceless Engine. But until then, this is Thomas One Railway Fan 100, aka Will Reese, signing out, saying, have a good one, and have a happy St. Patrick's Day. Stay tuned.